Okay, so today we're doing something a little different.
Oh.
Yeah, so usually we kind of look at a bunch of different sources, right?
Right.
But today, it's all about going deep,
Deep.
deep on just one.
Oh, wow.
So we've got these excerpts from this talk, and I'm not going to name names just yet.
Okay.
But it really digs into this whole like work-life balance thing and like what even is success anyway,
Oh, yeah.
and then how all this digital stuff plays in.
Right. Right.
So one of the things that jumps out from this talk right away
Yeah.
is this respect for people like Narayan Murthy,
Oh, yeah.
who is kind of legendary for working all the time, right?
Right.
But then the speaker goes on to say
Okay.
that it's not about just like racking up the hours.
Yeah.
It's about what you actually do in that time.
It's so interesting how they use that to set up the argument, because you wouldn't expect someone who talks about quality over quantity to start by praising somebody who's known for working so much.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like they're saying, look, even someone like that
Right.
would agree that you got to focus on the right things.
Exactly.
And there's this line that just like blew me away. It said, even if it's 10 hours, you can change the world in 10 hours.
Whoa. Right. Makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah, like how much time do we all just like waste
Oh, totally.
on stuff that doesn't even matter,
So much time.
So much time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not all just like, high-minded stuff either.
Okay.
The speaker gets into some really specific things.
Yeah.
Like their approach to social media.
Uh-huh.
And they just straight up call it a business tool.
Oh, wow.
Like not about making friends or whatever.
Interesting.
Yeah, and at first I was like, huh, that's kind of a cold way to look at it,
Yeah, I can see that.
But then I started thinking about all these, like, really successful people who use social media that way.
Right.
Like to build their brand and get their ideas out there and
Right.
to connect with their audience in a way that moves the needle on their business.
Exactly. And get this, the speaker talks about getting feedback from like 11 million people on one platform.
Wow.
So it's like they're not just like, posting selfies or whatever.
Right.
They're using it to really understand what people are thinking.
Like a giant focus group.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Right. So how does all this fit in with this whole idea of success then?
Yeah.
Especially when you've got all this pressure to like hustle all the time.
Yeah, the always on mentality.
Right.
Right. Yeah, it definitely seems like the speaker is pushing back against that.
Yeah.
They're saying like, hey, maybe you don't have to be grinding 24/7.
Yeah.
Maybe you can still have a life
Right.
if you focus on doing really high quality work.
Right. And use these tools like social media in a smart way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about maximizing your impact, not your hours.
Yeah. So it's like a totally different way of thinking about work and success and everything, really.
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the big question that the speaker leaves us with is
Yeah.
if you could make like a real difference
Yeah.
in just 10 hours of like really focused work, what would you do?
Wow. Yeah, that's a powerful question.
Yeah, it really makes you think about what actually matters.
It does. And I think that's a great place to leave it for our listeners today. What would you do with 10 hours?
Think about it.
Let us know.